Hello everyone, welcome to our programming tutorial. Today we're going to learn about data input and output. To learn this, we are going to use Vizzcode. Vizzcode is a development environment where you're gonna use visual and text programming at the same time. This way you can learn using the visual programming, which is the easiest way to learn, and then move to the text programming as easy as possible. And the text programming is the way professionals usually program. The text in Vizzcode is based on languages like JavaScript, Python, C++. So Vizzcode is a great way to learn and then move to a professional language. But remember, you can do a lot of cool stuff here in Vizzcode, including game development. So to begin with, we're going to create a new project. Remembering that you can follow embedded tutorial in Vizzcode, so you can choose Introduction to Programming Part 1, Part 2. That's what we're gonna cover here in this tutorial. But when you're alone in your house, for example, in a school, you can choose the tutorial to follow the steps easily. That's one of the main points of Vizzcode too. It's really cool to follow the tutorials inside the platform. But today we're gonna create a blank project because I'm gonna teach you guys the steps. Remembering, you can use either in Portuguese or in English. If you speak Portuguese, you can go to Vizzcode Brazil channel to see all the videos in Portuguese too. So I'm gonna create a new project and I'm gonna name it Input and Output and create the project. So that's the main screen of Vizzcode. Here on the left side, you're gonna do the visual programming. On the right side, you're gonna do the text programming. So to begin with, we're gonna make a hello world kind of program. The hello world is a program that we're gonna print something on the user screen. So that's the output. That's when you're gonna print or output the data. So to begin with, we're gonna import a library. A library is a set of procedures. Procedures are commands that is already made for you, so you don't have to go into the little details. For example, printing on the screen, you need some specific commands, but the programming languages usually have this ready for you. So you're gonna usually input a library called print or IO. Here in Vizzcode you have available both print or IO. Print, you only have the commands to output the data, and the IO, which means input and output, you have the data, you have the procedures to either print or read or input the data. So here I created the library. I'm saying procedures here if you are kind of familiar with programming. The other places usually call these methods, functions, but they usually means all the same. So here we usually call them procedures. So basically I've imported the library, so now I need the main procedure. The new procedure, and I'm creating the procedure here and I'm gonna call it main. The main procedure is the entry point, is where you're gonna put all the commands you want in your program. You can create one procedure or you can create a lot of procedures. So procedures can be created by yourself or you can import them through libraries. The main procedure is the procedure that most of the programming languages use to begin the program. So I created the procedure and I'm gonna put the commands here inside the main procedure. And I don't know if you noticed, here on the right side the text appeared automatically, and you can edit the text here. I'm gonna show you in a minute. So I'm gonna call the procedure print. Here you can see all the stuff you can do. You can use the if, while, for. That's the stuff that is more professional. You're gonna learn in the next tutorials. But now I want to print. So here's the print command. And to print anything you want, you have to put them under quotes here, like I did, and say whatever you want to print. So I'm gonna print hello Vizzcoder, and after writing the message, you can use the backslash here for breaking the line. So this way you're gonna have a line break. So if you wanna say like pressing an enter, here is the backslash. So I'm gonna compile the program. When you hit compile here, the computer reads what you did, and then you are ready to run the program. Here you can see hello Vizzcoder with a blank line here, and that's it. That's the command prompt. That's the way programs usually execute. You can have cooler screens too, but you're gonna see that when you're programming games. So as you guys saw, I programmed here on the visual programming, and the text appear. But if you want to, you can add the text here. For example, you can import another library. For example, if you import the print library, it won't work, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the print library has all the commands that the IO library has. So the Vizzcode is saying, oh, you can't import both libraries because the commands will be the same. But if you import another library like random, that's where you can have random numbers, you can see here that imported automatically. So you can edit them here or here. For example, if you want to delete the library, you're not gonna use random numbers in this tutorial, just press delete and you can see that it deleted automatically. And you can also rearrange the nodes so it can look good, and save the project. So we have just printed the message. That's the output part of the tutorial, and now we're going to start talking about the input. That's where we're gonna read the data. To read the data, we need something to store the data, and that's what a variable is. Variables are kind of objects where you can store values, values on them. Think of a variable like, imagine you are in a gym locker room and you have a lot of lockers, and you're gonna store your belongings in the locker. The variable is kind of the locker. You can store the stuff there in the variables. In the variables, they have a lot of types. They have strings where you can store text. You have variables of the int type, integer, when you're gonna store numbers. You also have the float where you're gonna store real numbers. So in this tutorial, we're gonna use only the variables that store text. So I'm gonna go here and create a new variable. And this variable is gonna be called text. You can rename it as you wish. And when you create a variable, you can either, first of all, you can choose the type here, and I'm gonna type string. And you can either initialize the variable here with some value, or you can read it from the user, the input. I'm gonna show you how to initialize it. I'm gonna say, hello guys. And you have the variable here, and if you want to, you can go here and print the variable. So, so you can come here and say print. So you can print the text directly here, or you can print a variable, that's text. So if you compile the program and run it, you're gonna see that you have both messages. But as I said, we don't want to initialize the variable with text. We want to read it from the user. So I'm gonna delete the nodes. You can delete it with clicking delete, or you can come here and simply edit. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you make a mistake here, for example, in text, all the lines needs to finish with a semicolon. Most of the lines, you're gonna see that some have curly brackets, but in this case all finish with here's the curly brackets. But here, when you're inside the procedure, usually you need a semicolon. So if I delete it, the text is not valid. So if the text is not valid, the visual programming screen will lock until you correct the text. So that's the same here in visual programming. If you make a mistake, For example, if you name it not main, the main procedure needs to be called main, it's gonna lock here. So you correct and you're ready to go. So I'm ready here to read from the user. To read a value from the user, we need the set node. What the set node does is it receives a variable, so that's where you're gonna store the value, and you can receive the value. So we're gonna store text, and as I said, you can either read from the user or you can simply put another text here. It's gonna be valid. As you can see here in the right side, you can initialize the variable as well. So if you compile here and run, you're gonna see that it's saying only hello Vizzcoder, because the only time I'm outputting is here on print. But I don't wanna initialize the variable this way. I want to read from the user. To read from the user, we have to use the scan procedure. That's a procedure from the IO library, just like the print. The scan, what's gonna do? It's gonna read the message or the number that the user typed. And here in the procedure, you can add some text to inform the user what you're gonna do. So type your name. Type your name like this. I'm gonna put a backslash here. Oops. So we're gonna break the line, and once we compile and run, you guys will see that you have the type your name. So I'm gonna say Thiago and enter, and that's it. The program is done. But as you guys saw, we want to print what we read, so we can confirm that we read it correctly. So I'm gonna go here again on print. Oh, here print. And before printing the text, I'm gonna print a new line so you can see it all nice. So I'm gonna put some back. So we're gonna go here now and print the variable text. So compile the program, you can rearrange the nodes so it can look all good, and run. So I'm gonna type my name, and you see that it broke the lines here and it printed my name. So we read it correctly. So that's the output, and that's the input and the output again. But I'm gonna show you another few cool stuff. So there's another way to read the value from the user that's easier. So for example, I'm gonna start a new variable here. The variable we're gonna call text2, and the variable is a string, and I'm gonna initialize this variable with the scan procedure. So here's the scan, and I'm gonna say type whatever you want. And again, I'm gonna compile, and you're gonna see that I'm typing Thiago. Oh, here I didn't put the break line, and look what happened. So I'm gonna say oops, and I'm gonna go here and correct. For example, here in the left side it's kind of hard. You can have to go back to correct the text, or you can come here. It's way easier. Just put a backslash in. This now it's working precisely. So here it's what we done, and now I'm gonna teach you something really cool. So you learned using the visual programming. It's way easier. It's way faster to grasp the resources, what you can do. But you can also come here on text. For example, I know that the print text is the command for you to print some text. So I'm gonna go here and write print, and I'm gonna print text2, and I'm gonna end the line. So as you can see, I'm printing the text, but I'm gonna put some break lines here, so you can Ctrl C, Ctrl V, compile, and run the program. So hello Vizzcoder, type your name, Thiago, type whatever you want. I'm gonna type my last name, Zaydan, and here you can see it's printing again, and that's the end of the program. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to teach you in this tutorial, the input and output. As you guys can see, it's really easy to program both ways. You start learning the visual and then you go to the text. That's the way usually the main languages work, so you can have both at your service. Before finishing the video, I'm gonna save here, and I'm gonna show you something really cool. Here on Vizzcode, here on Vizzcode website, you can create your account. You can get started for free and get 7 days of premium by registering for free, or you can go as long as you want on a free account. But you can also come here and documentation. So the documentation has a lot of information. So you have the embedded tutorials inside Vizzcode, where you can learn following a tutorial, or you can come here on the documentation for some more information. So you can have your first program, how to correct your programming errors. They also have here how to distribute what you are doing. So you have the library IO, for example. That's the one we used. Here it shows how you can do this, some really cool stuff. And another cool thing is the programming exercises. So once you finish this video, you can come here in the exercises. You can come either on the embedded tutorials, they also have exercises there, or here on the Vizzcode website. And when you click on programming exercises, so my internet's not working really well right now. Let me just see what's going on here, guys. Sorry. Oh, now it worked. So here on the programming exercises, you can follow some really cool exercises. Here on the first steps, you already can do this. That's the input, that's the output part. And here on input, processing, and output, you can do the first ones. That's messing with input and output. And the processing is a little harder. We didn't talk about processing for now, but in the next video I'm gonna start teaching you guys how to process data. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I see you next time.